It's January 13, 1999, a cold morning in the suburbs of Baltimore, Maryland. And 18-year-old Korean-American high school student Hae-min Lee is getting ready for school. Hae has a lot on her mind and a lot to remember. Not only is she in the school's magnet program and taking advanced classes and on the lacrosse team, she's juggling a gig managing the high school boys wrestling team, and she's responsible for various family members. Today, she needs to leave school early to shuttle her young cousin home from school across town. But none of this is at the top of Hae's mind this morning as she starts up her gold Nissan and tosses her lacrosse stick and shoes in the trunk. Hae's car is a bit of a mess, but it's no worse than any other high schoolers. This morning, Hae's thinking about her new boyfriend, Don, who she recently met working at LensCrafters and just started seriously dating within the last few weeks. They've only recently met, but he's older, he's mellow, and let's face it, he's hot. He's also a lot more mature than Hae's on-again, off-again ex, Adnan Syed, whom she once loved, but whose possessiveness had led her to distance herself from Adnan and try to move on. She'd told Adnan as much, politely, in person and in letters, but he was refusing to accept this. At first, maybe it was flattering that he didn't want to let her go. But Adnan's possessiveness had reached new heights that now alarmed Hae. She avoided Adnan now, even asking the French teacher, Hope Shab, not to mention that she was on the phone when she called once and Adnan was also present in the classroom. He could be so controlling. Hope Shab testified to as much at trial. The way he always asked others to do things, commanded them, that would work out in his favor. He asked Hope Shab not to cooperate with the police by passing out questionnaires to other students after Hae went missing. He asked another teacher to erase Hae's name from the whiteboard after her disappearance because, quote, it upset him. Over and over, Adnan would insist, and others would comply. And that's how he conned his way into Hae's car that day on January 13, 1999. The same day, he'd told Jay he was planning to kill that bitch. After Hae's body was found, the police conducted an investigation. Adnan was arrested and went to trial. Adnan was swiftly convicted by a jury that found him guilty. But Adnan got a second trial, and a second jury also found him guilty of the murder. Adnan exercised one more appeal before being locked up. And that was it. Nobody outside of Baltimore knew or heard about this case. For 15 years. Until 2014. Because that's the year that Adnan, with the help of a few key players, managed to introduce his case to the world. Except the story that he would tell would pollute the narrative of this case so badly that it would allow him to walk free less than a decade later. The repercussions of that twisted narrative are being felt to this very day.
I just sometimes wish like they could like look into my brain and see how I really felt about her. And no matter what else someone would say, they would see, man, this guy had no ill will towards it. Whatever the motivation is to kill someone, it didn't exist in me. You know what I mean? No one can ever say why. People can say why. Oh man, he was mad, this, that, or the other, but no one can ever come with any type of proof or anecdote or anything to ever say that I was ever mad at her, that I was ever angry with her, that I ever threatened her. You know, that's the only thing I can really hold on to. That is like my only firm handhold in this whole thing is that no one's ever been able to prove it. No one's been able to provide any shred of evidence that it had anything but friendship towards it, like love and respect for her. That's at the end of the day, man. The only thing I can ever say is, man, I had no reason to kill her. No reason to kill her. No reason to kill her.
So where does Adnan say he was? Well, maybe the library, but nobody testified to that at trial. Then to track practice. He does remember being at track one day when it was snowing, which might have been that day. The coach testified that Adnan probably was there, but he can't be 100% sure because, as a rule, he didn't take attendance. After school is when his memories become nonspecific.